We're talking about 3 tips for gambling. I had a pretty bad week in terms of gambling. I started losing money and I got tangled up in the whole betting system, and I kind of screwed myself over by placing stupid bets and not following very simple rules. And you'd say, yeah, you should obviously do this, but when your mind gets tangled up in betting and kind of corrupted by that, it can make bad decisions. You can make really bad decisions. So I lost a lot of money, and I'm not too proud of it, but hopefully I can bounce back and follow these rules for hopefully success and winning money. Obviously, the simple tip is don't gamble, because no one can predict the future and it's easier to lose than win, especially when you have the odds stacked against you. If you're betting with, say, a bookkeeper or a casino, they're stacked against you, so you're gonna lose over time unless you're God or something. So I wrote them down. The 3 tips are: 1, only bet money you have and are willing to lose. So if you start to bet money, and say you have $200 and you bet that money and you lose it, and you're fine with losing that money, but then you want to keep betting to try to recover that $200, that's where, if you lose, you're going to get really pissed off and start getting upset at stupid little things, and it's just going to affect your mood in general. And trying to catch up is never good. So it's always good to have be independent of each bet and say, okay, I'm betting this money, it's okay if I lose it, and that's separate from the second bet. Like, I don't try to catch up for my last outing of, say, I lost $1,000 betting at the horse track. I'm not going to try to recover that next time I go to the horse track. That's just a bad way to think, because you're going to be betting more to recover it. But naturally I kind of think that way, but I shouldn't. I should really just say, only bet the money I have and I'm willing to lose. So all of that independent. Everything starts over fresh, and you gotta plan it out, plan how much you wanna lose, and if you lose it, be okay with it. The best way to know how much you should gamble is assume you're gonna lose. Now, I know that's not like law of attraction and kind of negative thinking, but it's smart. It's assume what you're gonna lose and bet that money, and then flip your mindset and say, I'm gonna win, is the best way I have it for tip number 1. Tip number 2 is 1 bet per game. Now, this is individually just me. I started betting live bets, so even in odds for basketball games, I'd bet the half or I'd bet full time, whether the point total was gonna be even in odds. And it was kind of just a throw up bet, just kind of a luck of the Irish kind of bet. Not a good bet. And then once I lost that, I'd try to catch up and bet even more on stupid stuff, like first one to score a touchdown, first one to score the points, first one to 10 points, first one to 20 points. And now I'm only gonna bet 1 bet per game. So a football game, only 1 bet, the outcome of the game. The reason for this is, if you bet on a team, say I'm betting on the Houston Rockets to score the first points in the game, be the first to 10 points, be the first to 20 points, and then win the game. Now, the likelihood of all that happening is only if, like, the Houston Rockets dominate that game. And that's great. Say I bet 100 on each of those, that's $400. But say I get totally screwed out of my money because the Houston Rockets sucked that night, that's $400 down the drain. And the odds I went all 4 bets, even say at like a 50-50 toss-up, which it's really not, that's very, very slim. That's 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5. Very, very slim that you're gonna win all 4 of those. And it's just, like I said, you gotta separate your bets. You gotta individualize each bet, and to stack them up to kind of, essentially, it's a loose parlay. The odds you win are very slim, but the payout's great. So risk and reward, I want to limit my risk when betting, especially if I have a lot of money on the line. So that's my theory, is limit my risk, but then increase the amount of money that I'm going to be betting if I win. I think that's just a lot safer than to do loose parlays and parlays So one game, one bet per game. And I got to be careful with choosing the game. And that leads me to tip number 3, is only bet games you feel inclined to win. So I have a tendency to bet games that I don't feel drawn to. And the reason for this is because, like, it's hard for me to watch a game and like be interested in it if I don't have any money in it. So I kind of just toss out $50 and say, hey, I want the Saints to win. And that gets me into the game, but it's nothing that I feel too drawn to. It's not like I know too much about the Saints or I know too much about the other team to bet on that game. Now, say I was watching Houston Rockets play LA Clippers. Or here's a better example, is the 76ers played the Cleveland Cavaliers. The line was 16. I didn't bet on this game. I should have. It was just because I was down. But I know that Philly is just total crap this year. Not even good. Kyrie Irving's back. LeBron's just a beast. That's a game that I feel more inclined to bet. So it's better putting my money on the line in that game rather than betting the Saints, who I haven't watched at all this year. So those are the 3 tips for gambling that I need to follow closely. Lost a lot of money this past week because I got too tangled up in bets, betting loose parlays, throwing up money for no reason, not picking individual games. And so the 3 tips to summarize is: 1, only bet money you have and are willing to lose. 2, 1 bet per game. And 3 is only bet games you feel inclined to win. So I hope these tips help you guys out. These are what I'm gonna follow. I need to find some money first before I start gambling again, but hopefully they help you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Follow your dreams, peace out, love life, and listen for some Irish music coming right up. Thank you guys again.